3 years ago, you're out here preparing for your first camp, and you even described yourself as being completely lost. Can you quantify how much different your comfort level is, having 3 years of experience, knowing Coach Mason, Coach Hill? How much has it changed now that you've done this for 3 years?
A lot. I mean, I personally started trying to get the other defensive linemen out here early and hit some bags and trying to get into camp shape already like a month ago. So, it's a big improvement on that, especially the first practice, like conditioning. 3 years ago, I don't want to talk about it, but it was pretty bad. And now it's just like, I'm most proud of the conditioning level because that's the most important thing. And then technically and as far as the game plan goes, it feels really good, and I know what I have to do and how the defense works. And
you talked about that leadership, getting them in conditioning, getting out with the bags over the summer. Was that your idea, or did the coaches come to you and say, as a senior, we'd like you to sort of take on that role?
Yeah, I mean, the coaches told me that it would be good to get something in, so I took some of the guys who wanted to come here out to hit the bags, and we were out here early, before running, sometimes after running, and yeah. I mean, I've been doing the bags for 2 months now, actually, like on my own a little bit. So.
Again, when you talk about just how much more experienced and how familiar you are now compared to when you started, how much different is the way Coach Hill and Coach Mason are teaching you now that you know the language and know the game and have an understanding of what's going on out here?
Well, the first couple years it was all about being in the right gaps at the right time and doing everything correct. And now when I try to do that, they still get mad because I'm doing a little bit too much. They want to let me loose. So now it's more about, I know what I have to do, I know where I have to be, so they can give me more flexibility of how to line up and where to line up and how to rush and read and stuff. So
the last couple of years, as you've gotten better and better, you always sort of deferred to your other teammates, including the guys who were simply older than you. But now, as a senior, as one of the leaders, are you comfortable in that role and asking guys to do what you're doing and follow your lead? Or is that something you have to sort of force yourself into doing?
No. This is a really great group of guys, and I don't feel like uncomfortable or anything around them, so it's definitely a lot easier to go through the drills and teach them. And some of the guys, actually, I talked to a couple of new freshmen, going through the playbook and telling them what the different plays mean and what to look for. So it's fun.
You've always obviously worked very hard in the weight room and out running and everything, and now as one of those leaders in the conditioning, when you look at your teammates, maybe not just defensive line, but all over the board, who looks like they've made a significant physical change since the end of last season and has impressed you with their work ethic?
Well, I can speak only for the defensive line right now. I mean, I've been seeing all the guys in there all the time, been working out. Zach Wood's been there all the time, Andy, and Kevin, for the past month, he was there all the time, just going at it. And wide receivers have done a big jump. I mean, looking at them run, it's just going at it the whole time. And so it's going to be an interesting season.
There were times last year where, in certain situations, you would get kicked inside and sort of play over the nose. Do you envision doing as much or more of that this year? And what's the hardest transition for you to come in from defensive end to playing in the middle of that line?
Nothing really. It's fun. It's a fun little change up. Fastest way to the quarterback is a straight line, so it's a little bit faster to get there than trying to run the corner. It's just a little mix up we do with the packages. I don't know what else to tell you.
When you go inside, considering your height and your speed, do you find more and more guys chop blocking you, taking out your knees? Do you worry about getting hurt more when you're in there where the traffic's a little heavier?
Not really. I mean, I usually just, when I get in down there, it's just all down and dirty, and I try to just power over them, and if that doesn't work, go to the moves. There's inside it's tougher because you don't have any room to do any moves, so it's pure just one-on-one stuff.
You've gotten more and more attention ever since you've been at SMU, and now people are talking about next year's draft already, saying you're a highly touted prospect, maybe a first-round kind of prospect. Do you allow yourself to even think about that kind of thing as you get ready for your final season?
No. It's the media. Don't get me wrong, but It's just I've been focusing on whatever I can control, which is my workout ethic, how I get ready, and like my mindset. So whatever the talk is out there, it's fun, but the only thing I'm concerned about is what I can do right now and how to get better right now. So, and if I take care of that, that will eventually take care of most of it.
Last year you came on a lot and played well during the season, especially obviously the bowl game where you had your 3 sacks. But if you look back to a year ago at this time, going into your junior year, what's the biggest difference between you a year ago and you going into your final season?
Like I said, the conditioning level is a lot higher, as well as the work we've put in since February. I think I've had we've done it in cycles, so we've had a couple of weeks off here and there with some easier stuff. But the most focus was in conditioning and trying to get back my power levels that I had 5 years ago, and we've gotten really close to it, so I feel really good right now. And the weight's been constant, and I'm not 300 pounds anymore.
What do you weigh now?
280.
Is that where you want to be when you get down to Baylor? Or?
Yeah. I feel comfortable in that, and I played my bowl game in weighing 280. Over the season last year, I gradually lost weight, so I started feeling better and better every time.